Oh, bien le bonjour tous. Je suis pas fatigué aujourd'hui, c'est le matin. On va pouvoir continuer tranquillement. Alors, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Le peintre Vogel nous a appelé pour parce qu'il s'est fait tabasser son expo secrète. Donc on est venu, on a trouvé ce qui s'est passé. On a trouvé un artiste. Il y avait une toile qui s'est fait voler, un diable qui était en train de se une gonzesse. Pardon. Donc on a trouvé l'artiste. On est allé à sa maison, il s'est fait tuer et on a trouvé donc cette photo d'une femme enceinte. Apparemment c'est un vol. Oui, parce que c'est à moi interdit si j'ai rajouté un i. Donc c'est un vol. Et donc il faut enquêter sur ça. Donc bah apparemment faut interroger. On va interroger des gens de la même communauté à mon avis. C'est beaucoup plus simple. Parce que des fois ils ont du mal à parler entre flics et machin.
No and no. You are not getting anything from me.
Oh bah déjà, il veut pas parler. Il faut que je me déguise. Je me déguise en clodo.
Are you able to help me?
You are standing in my way. Get
Pas les
lost.
artistes.
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people?
Alors, il y a pas mort. Putain. Je vais aller m'acheter le costume, tiens. Ah, qu'est-ce qu'il veut lui maintenant? Ah, c'est vrai, le travail, il faut un voyage en Corse. Alors je sais pas si j'y vais. Merde. Voyage en Corse. Au mois de mai, à mon avis, ça doit être pas mal ensoleillé. Mais cassez-vous tous. J'ai oublié de récupérer. J'ai oublié.
Nice of Let's pick some.
Vas-y. Je suis un gueux comme vous.
A good choice.
Voilà. D'ailleurs, il faudrait que je retourne là-dedans parce que j'ai oublié de prendre le bouquin. Du coup, ça fait chier. Et du coup, on n'aura pas l'histoire complète de Francesca et de Timothée. Je sais plus comment il s'appelle. Après cette quête qui fait partie de l'histoire principale, je ferai les récits de Cordoba parce que la police, j'ai fini toutes les quêtes et c'était trop rapide. Je suis deg. Je peux plus y aller, putain, fait chier. Alors, Amir. Putain, c'est tout là-bas. Oh, fait chier, sa mère. Princesse Amygdala. Ah, toi tu sais.
May I ask you something?
What a coincidence.
Voilà.
I learned of this recently myself.
Les cicatrices présentes sur le visage de la femme semblent correspondre aux pratiques traditionnelles de la tribu des Ewes. Ewes ? Le seul endroit où l'on est susceptible de trouver des membres de cette tribu en Cordona est le camp de réfugiés qui se situe sous le pont de Victoria entre Scaladio et Silverton. Ben voilà, ça avance. Je sais pas mon cap. Le pont Victoria entre Scaladio et Silverton. C'est ça le pont Victoria? Pont de Thor. Pont de fer. Le trône de fer. Ah, c'est ici. Oui, c'est près de la mairie. La mairie. La mairie. Je veux la voir. Et je l'aurai. Inch'Allah. Comme on dit. Comme on dit chez nous. Putain, je sais pas ce qu'il m'a fait le dentiste là, il m'a arraché une dent, mais maintenant dès que je mors, j'ai mal à la dent à côté. Faudra que je lui en parle quand j'y vais, putain. Pas qu'il m'arrache celle-là aussi, putain, je vais plus avoir de SHCO dans les dents. Voilà. J'en ai déjà... Attends, 1... 2... J'en ai déjà 2 de pété. Et là, il m'en a retiré 1, 2, 3. En plus, une molaire. Une prémolaire. Là, ça va être une deuxième prémolaire. Enfin, il reste une prémolaire à arracher. 1 et 2 dents de sagesse. Putain, c'est terrible.
Beasts!
Comment ça, bite? Ah, il embrouille. Là, j'ai des souvenirs, je suis déjà arrivé jusque là, mais je suis pas allé plus loin dans le jeu. Je me rappelle. Ta mère.
Completely livid.
First they come to our land.
Can I ask you a question? The law can't help you.
Drop them all into the sea.
Bonjour, je suis Sherlock
Sir,
Holmes.
this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness for a case.
I'm a PI.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in.
And you are?
I'm Ronald Harlow, here to handle the refugee situation on behalf of City Hall. I'm the acting supervisor here, so I have full authority here to ask you to leave, or I shall order the police to detain you for trying to pass the blockade. Please,
Mais vas-y, fils de pute. Essaye un peu, avec ta moustache là. Elle décerne. Voilà, branle couille, va. C'est la première fois que tu sors de ta vie. Mec, il a 15 ans, il me casse les couilles. Regarde-moi ce petit sgeg là. Connard. Bah. Bah, et alors, dernier. Où qu'il est? Son chapeau. Bah. Mais arrêtez de crier, vous tous, là, vous me déconcentrez. Quelque chose dans la poche. T'as un pomme-pote. Ah, la chaussure! Vu. Ronald Harlow est un jeune fonctionnaire dépressif qui se trouve épuisé par le lot quotidien de son poste. L'hôtel de ville lui a en effet confié la supervision du camp de réfugiés, mais la fatigue et l'indifférence le rendent incapable de résoudre les problèmes qui se manifestent. Il porte une mince moustache qui, selon lui, ajoute quelques années à son apparence. La pâleur de sa peau et les cernes qui pèsent sous ses yeux suggèrent qu'il est las du bureau étroit et sombre qu'il ne quitte que rarement, et que ses chaussures propres et encore quasi neuves révèlent en lui un manque d'engouement pour les activités en extérieur. Ses pommes moites indiquent enfin que Ronald est en proie à une grande anxiété. Il aurait peut-être dû moins se couvrir compte tenu des conditions météorologiques du jour. Sinon, on a celui-ci, supervisé, la responsabilité de l'agent de guerre, mais il agit toujours selon les règles et accomplit chaque mission qu'il reçoit. Oui, c'est pour ça qu'il nous casse les burnes. Il n'a toutefois pas l'expérience nécessaire pour s'occuper de problèmes qu'il ne peut résoudre à son bureau avec une simple feuille de papier. Oui, bien évidemment. Oui, quelques années avec sa moustache, la pâleur de sa peau et cerne suggère qu'il travaille dans un bureau mal éclairé, qu'il ne quitte que rarement. Les habits distingués qu'il porte indiquent qu'il a besoin impérieux d'incarner une figure d'autorité, mais celui-ci donne plutôt un air incongru en raison des conditions météorologiques. C'est pas moi de suggère en nous que Ronald reprend une grande anxiété sans doute. Allez hop. Espèce de guignol va.
What about the murder that this crowd keeps shouting about?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
I know you want to deal with this in the right way. You are obviously a professional and a responsible person, but you clearly have never handled a situation like this before.
I am handling it, Mr. Holmes. Don't question my capability here.
And tell me how you do it. You can't even calm this gathered crowd, and as for the police, they're not quite managing it either, are they? You consider yourself a problem solver, but until today, you've been solving problems sitting at your desk in a dark corner of a city hall room. Here, you need a more practical approach.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall, and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return, I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child, or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to
Ben
allow you to
voilà,
come
c'était pas
inside.
compliqué.
Just tell me when you're ready.
Ça a pris 20 minutes pour dire excuse-moi frère. C'est bon.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every City Hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
The police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the island, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
Bon bah on va
I'm
y
ready
aller
to
hein.
take a look at the scene.
All right,
On va régler ça.
go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene.
Tewkesbury.
Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
Murder! Beasts!
Who isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days?
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
C'est toi Tewkesbury?
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector. And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
On va parler le langage des dessins.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
Et des
The fellow
signes.
looks like a thug. I've had dozens like
thug.
him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity.
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Near the body.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd
Voilà,
gathered at the
bien
camp, and my
sûr.
superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Alors. Oh. Ah, pardon. Oh, c'est un alcoolique? Inspecteur du require.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead
Clearly
body.
a left handprint here.
0.
C'est toi 0, connard. Du sang.
Someone bled profusely here.
Un vase cassé. Hein? Quoi? Bon. Mais... Non? Mais... Au secours? Mais... Ouais. Ah! Ouais.
A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently.
Hop là! Bravo! Taille 44.
A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal.
S'il te plaît, merci. Une taille 6,5. Ah non, 9.
Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole.
Pieds nus.
A man's
Grand
footprint.
pied. Le marmite. Du pognon.
£1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona.
Une lime à ongles.
A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk.
Des cigarettes.
Malpal, soaked with salt water.
Ah, des malpales. Et l'autre qui boite, il a aussi des malpales. Quelle coïncidence. Salut.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I uphold the law, so I'm not answering your questions.
Bon bah écoute frère. Je suis un officier au gradé de la police. Non, tu vas pas me casser
Do
les
you know
couilles.
anything about this?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Voilà.
This isn't working. You might need a
Ah, tu fais
different
plus de malin maintenant, hein.
May I ask for your assistance?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Help me, please.
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Everyone's looking at us.
Ta gueule toi John.
Help me, please.
T'as qu'à le faire
No,
si t'es pas
no,
content.
no.
Ask one of the others.
Ah ouais, j'ai mal au bide. Ah. Ah. J'ai mal aux abdos. Aux abdos que j'ai évidemment pas. Ah, salut toi.
Help me, please.
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
T'en sais rien, mais c'est quoi les notes que tu prends? Sous de la gueule de qui? Ouh, le joli tatouillage.
An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something?
Bien évidemment que ça veut dire quelque chose. Sinon, il n'aurait pas mis le tatouage. Ah, oh, la dague. Daggerfall.
A steel dirk. Sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers. Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
Du sang.
I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain.
Putain, c'est un bon Sherlock. Hein. Dès qu'ils voient un truc, ça y est.
Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping, John.
Ah, c'est celui qui a tué l'autre.
A violent death. Limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
Ah, particules de charbon. Ben oui, il était enfermé, il s'est caché dans le truc de cheminée là pour voler la peinture. C'est lui. Et il est mort. Et du coup, on sait pas comment il s'appelle.
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
Ah. Ah ouais, j'en ai loupé un.
If
Après,
they
pour
find out
déduire,
about
des
the
fois, c'est pas clair. Bah non. Bah non. Ouais. C'était sûr. Policiers redoutent la mise en place d'un périmètre de sécurité strict autour du camp après la découverte du mort, qui pourrait avoir un impact sur l'argent qu'ils gagnaient jusqu'alors grâce à leur opération.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell... Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
Ah. Vas-y. Bonjour.
Do you know anything about this?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
Pourquoi tu mens,
Could you
connard?
help me?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Ferme ta gueule.
May I ask for your assistance?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Mais qu'est-ce
Ask
que
one
vous
of the
foutez
others.
là, la police, et vous savez rien à rien? Je suis un vrai mec. Je suis un... Putain, pour reconstituer la scène, ça va être chiant.
Carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment.
Putain, mais qu'est-ce que t'es intelligent, Sherlock Holmes.
No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike.
Quoi? Salut Bobby. Tu te sens bien?
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
Allez, on va aider cet idiot. Là-bas, voilà. Il y a de la flotte. Bois un coup.
I'll use it to create a solution.
Ouais. Putain, ça rate toujours dans ma gorge de merde. Ah, je vais crever. Ah, des plantes.
It won't do any good.
Ok, ok Sherlock.
That will kill, not save him.
Ah. Ouais, c'est con ça. Bon, je sais qu'il sait pas nager. Mais... Prison. Mais il n'y a pas des plantes quelque...
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound.
Hop là. On fait on prend une poule, on fait un bouillon de volaille. Ça il se sent mieux. Bah, faut que je trouve des herbes. Petites herbes de Provence là. Oh là-bas. Trouvé, vu. Trouvé, pas sûr. Aloe vera.
I can use this to stop the infection from spreading.
Prends.
I've collected all the ingredients now to prepare the first aid solution.
Ah, formidable. Je suis un grand docteur. Je suis le docteur Rousse. Deux. Genre, imagine, je fais ça. Oh putain, il y a tellement de trucs, mais... Fois 2. D'accord. Hop là. Ah merde. Moi je rajoute plus ça. Tiens. Putain, je suis un génie. Hop. Ah, viens là toi. Ah non. Supprime. Hop là! Je suis MacGyver! Attends. Voilà, mais qu'est-ce que tu vas faire maintenant? Je suis MacGyver. Putain, ça rase Booba. Je suis le plus grand chimiste de l'histoire. Je suis Marie Curie. Et Pierre Curie. Voilà mon brave.
Thank you. This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection. Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
Mais vas-y, parle-moi maintenant. Parle-moi de terre. Je sauvegarde parce que j'ai l'autre mission cachée de John. Voilà, tout à fait.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances...
Someone was dragged against their will. You know what? I'd like to understand.
Back off.
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Back off.
Ah! Ça va être qui, toi?
Are you able to help me? Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
No one deserves to end up in a place like this.
Faut que je trouve un moyen d'entrer. Quoi? Bah, ils sont passés par l'eau. Voilà.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards.
Ah! Le bateau a disparu.
No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs.
Hop là, bravo Sherlock Holmes.
Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates.
Mais oui, c'est... Non, c'est pas clair. Bah... Bonjour mon brave, comment tu fais? Putain, va falloir que je trouve. Toi, tu sais quelque chose?
Still here? I've already told you all I've learned. Your problem, not mine. Go and bother someone else with this, son.
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads. I'm busy.
Quoi, c'est
Don't
tout?
you have papers to fill?
Non, j'ai pas de papier. Connard. Bonjour.
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
Et... Ça, j'avais pas vu ça.
A single Malpal butt. Roadman cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Là, c'est tout, c'est ça? Attends, j'arrive, je vais fermer la fenêtre. Il pleut encore là. Non, ça a l'air d'être arrêté. Vivement ce soir que je mange ce que j'ai préféré, ça a l'air bon. Ça a l'air bon et c'est chiant. Ça, on va se faire chier. Y'a rien là-bas? Non. Réfléchis, 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 réfléchis. Oh non. Ah, c'est probable. Ah non, s'il est mort comme ça c'est plus probable, oui, effectivement. Il y a eu un impact, tout à fait. Il a dit qu'il y avait un impact. Lui, il a couru et paf! Kick on the face. Tac, tac, tac. Il n'y avait pas de sang ici, hein? On est d'accord? Mais comment il peut avoir le couteau là? Après l'avoir dans le... Ah, c'est en trébuchant. Ah, d'accord. Vous voyez le dessin des perles, donc ça c'est probable. Ah. Compte tenu de la photo, je dirais qu'il voulait la protéger. Ou pas. Quelqu'un a traîné de force. Oui. Donc c'est ça. Et c'est ça. Et on valide. Oh là là, first try mon gars.
Came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
Bon, on a trouvé.
You still here?
Inspector, I believe I can aid your investigation. I know who the dead man is and what really happened to him.
You do? Well, good for you. But I'm afraid I'm not the one you need to share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one responsible for settling things in the camp. Oh, I do care. Maybe even more than I need to. But I'm only here today to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad, but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself, but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
Merci, frère.
One small clerk can make any difference in this place.
Who knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
Mais ils sont tous
May I
revenus, c'est
ask
con.
for your assistance?
They often take us from the camp to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way to get a glimpse of freedom.
Selon les réfugiés, des individus suspects viennent régulièrement au camp et prennent avec eux plusieurs de ses occupants afin de les employer à diverses tâches. Le travail est souvent laborieux, mais les réfugiés reçoivent de l'argent et de la nourriture en échange. C'est au cours d'une de ces missions que le vol de la victime aurait eu lieu. L'incident a depuis incité les réfugiés à refuser l'emploi des femmes pour ces tâches.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Salut.
May I ask you something?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
Toi tu pars, ça y est. Salut.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Tu peux me surveiller, de toute façon je suis un gentil.
Hello, Nayla? My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock. Nayla, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
Ouais, ça veut dire quoi ça, raciste, bah? Il y a que des racistes dans ce jeu. Déjà l'autre qui s'en prend des blagues, elle qui me traite de blanc.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Nayla doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
Ah mais c'est vrai, elle a fait un dessin sur le truc. Il est où le dessin? Non, elle a pas fait un dessin. Je croyais qu'elle avait fait un dessin. Alors est-ce que j'avais fait fini l'enquête là? Je sais pas du tout. Voilà, c'est ça, c'est ce que je disais. C'est le même qui s'est introduit. Ici. Le voyou qui est venu au camp. Attention d'enlever une femme, il aurait pu la tuer, mais ce n'était pas son but. Et donc. Ok. Ok. Ça va être compliqué. Ah putain, mais comment? Faut que j'aille chercher dans les archives. Ouf.
At least some of your kind have a hat. Thank you again.
De rien, mon brave. De rien.
Excuse me, just one question.
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Mange-moi le... Voilà. Connard.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
This isn't working.
Faudrait que je change de tenue encore. Je vais m'habiller comme un clodo.
We might need a different
Salut.
tag.
Could you help me?
Sorry,
Ah merde. J'ai ma casquette.
we don't see much here.
Je veux pas ma casquette. Ouais. Oh. La vie c'est nul.
Are you able to help me?
Sorry,
Ah non.
we
Ouais.
don't see much here.
You obviously haven't
Non,
thought this
ici ils seront rien à mon avis.
Just
Faut que je
annoying
demande aux
these
truands ou à la police.
You still here?
Alors.
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scaladio. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right? You're disturbing a hornet's nest here, son.
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
Ok, alors... Alors là, waouh. On sait que c'est un Britannique, il a une croix, mais waouh, ça va être compliqué. Il a une entreprise, alors ça on peut se renseigner à la mairie qui est juste là, mais on va se téléporter parce que j'ai que ça à foutre. Et bien sûr, je sais jamais quel chemin prendre. C'est celui-là. Allez madame. Allez monsieur. Alors. Non. Non, oui. Putain, entre le stick gauche et le stick droit, putain. Et voilà, first try. Entreprise fondée en 1873 par Niccolo Bernadotti. Siège social au sud-est de Scaladio, sur Bazar Road, près de l'intersection avec Roman Road. Elle achemine des marchandises entre les colonies britanniques d'Afrique et le reste du Royaume-Uni, coordonnées incluses. Produits importés comprennent des vivres, du vin, du café, des articles de tous les jours et plus encore. Le fondateur, né en Sicile, dans le Royaume d'Italie, a déménagé à Londres à l'âge de 39 ans pour exercer son activité. Plus tard dans la même année, il a délocalisé son siège en Canton afin de, selon ses propres dires, se rapprocher des colonies dans lesquelles il a investi. Depuis son arrivée sur le sol cantonais en 1873, Bernadotti est devenu un mécène réputé des arts ainsi qu'un contributeur important au bien-être social de l'île. Parmi ses apports récents, on compte en outre l'achat de nouveaux matériels pour le poste de police et l'assistance portée au gouverneur dans le cadre du transport d'un aérostat baptisé Led Zeppelin depuis l'Allemagne. Led Zeppelin LOL. Donc c'est où? Sud-est de Scaladio sur Bazaar Road, près de l'intersection de Roman Road. Bazaar Road, Roman Road. Merde. Sud-est. Bazaar Road. Putain, va chier. C'est quelque part là. Je suis un vrai mec. La chanson dans les Simpsons, quand il est dans l'église avec son troll, Bart. Son troll là où celui tu lui touchais les cheveux, tu pouvais le coiffer n'importe comment. Et les jeunes ils connaissent pas ça. Ah la librairie, machallah. Il est quelle heure? Oh 11h09. Oh. Ah oui j'y suis. Merde. Qu'est-ce que ça dit? Du coup ça. Près de l'intersection avec Roman Road. C'est quelque part là. Hein.
It seems they're not expecting guests.
I won't wait for an invitation, John.
C'est ça? Bon, on va s'infiltrer, hein. Hop. Voilà, c'est ouvert. Salut, c'est la police.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Ah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sorry, we don't see
T'en veux une dans
much
ta
here.
gueule?
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Pourquoi tu dis... Ah, il ressemble à Alex. Pourquoi il le dispute, et toi?
Excuse me, just one question.
You work, I count. There are no questions in this formula.
These
Shut
workers
up.
don't look like your average Cordona folk.
They're refugees from the camp. Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Do I look like a man who can help your kind?
You obviously haven't thought this all through. Or are you just annoying these people on purpose?
Putain. Mais putain, bordel de cul. Ah, va falloir que je me déguise en voyou.
Help me, please.
I used to work in a factory too, but things changed. Come back when you change too, then we'll talk.
Ah, vous me faites chier tous. Je suis pas un clown, moi. J'ai pas que ça à foutre de me changer tout le temps. Tiens, il y a des trucs de costume ici. Oh, putain, je vais devoir marcher encore. Chier. Comment qu'il s'appelait l'autre qui se changeait à la vitesse de la lumière? Arturo Brachetti, c'est ça?
The finest clothes for the finest people on the island. The
Oui,
finest
merci.
clothes for...
Alors. Ah, costume gris. Autrement dit riche. Ça me paraît pas mal. Ça me paraît pas mal. Ah, j'ai plus de thunes. Ah, la tristesse.
A perfect choice.
Mais, connard. Hein? Ah, je peux pas? Mais c'est quoi cette chiasse? Moi, je voulais mettre le masque avec. C'est nul. Y a pas un chapeau intéressant là-dedans? Non. Je peux pas mettre un képi de body, je vais me faire taper après. Pas une victime, moi. Ici pour souffrir, ok. Putain, en vrai, je ferais mieux de me téléporter là, ça ira plus vite. Non, plus tard. Plus tard, à la prochaine vidéo. Après la quête là. Si tu veux. On s'amusera tous ensemble. Je suis un robot. Non, le robot cowboy c'est Red Dead Redemption. C'est pas Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. Les Kleptoclams. C'est dans les Simpsons aussi les Kleptoclams. C'est quand ils vont chez Monsieur Bird, c'est là dans le futur, je crois.
Help me, please.
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of that.
Could you help me?
I'm not in the mood to talk to moneybags.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and...
Ah putain de sa mère, la reine des grosses.
Dressed as what?
T'as vu, j'ai le même...
May I ask you something?
I used to work in a factory too, but
mais j'ai
things
la
changed.
même cette veste.
Come back when you
Mais
change too, then we'll talk.
Elle va niquer... Putain, faut que je trouve un bon déguisement.
Do you know anything about this?
Are you looking for trouble? 'Cause I can find you some.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
Are you able to help me?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
Could you help me?
Hey, Toff. You have exactly 1 minute to get lost.
You obviously haven't thought this all through.
Putain, mais je
Or
crois...
you're just annoying these people on purpose.
Les riches, si je m'habille en pauvre, ils veulent pas me parler. Ah, et là, tu me parles, je suis
Could you
pauvre.
help me?
I used to work in a factory too. But things changed.
Ah,
Come
va
back
te
when you
faire
change
foutre.
too, then we'll talk.
Il faut quoi comme costume? Mais s'il te plaît. Comment je fais ça? Je peux pas changer de tenue. Mais je l'ai fait 30 fois et là il veut plus. Ça? Ça t'intéresse ça?
May I ask for your assistance?
Are you looking for trouble? 'Cause I can find you some.
Mais j'ai un costume gris comme eux, ils veulent pas me parler.
That's our way in, Sherry.
Ouais, ta santé, connard.
Hey, yo. This is private property. You lost something.
I'm here to discuss business with Mr. Bernadotti. I tried the front door, but...
Mr. Bernadotti isn't seeing anyone. You have 3 seconds to walk away or you'll never walk again. Capito?
It's in Mr. Bernardotti's best interest to...
One.
Listen, the man Bernadotti sent to...
So...
Well, this has been miserable.
Sherlock, think. We know what the fellows from the gang look like. You can easily blend.
Bah ouais, mais j'ai acheté un costume gris, ça marche pas. Qui c'est qui me veut quoi? Non, je croyais que c'était ma belle-sœur avec les gosses, pas du tout. Ah. Ça veut dire quoi ça déjà? Stylisé. Ah. Déguisé. Il n'y a pas un... Je peux pas mettre des tatouages quelque part? Marchand de vêtements. Je peux pas me faire... Oh, c'est chiant! Pas un marchand de vêtements proche, là. Que je me TP. Si, là. Mais je peux plus acheter, j'ai plus de thunes, faut que je loue exprès. Et si je me trompe, c'est la baise. Ça fait combien de temps que je joue là? 1 heure? Ah, je vais peut-être aller
Nice affordable clothes. Let's pick some.
Je vais être obligé de louer de toute façon. Bagarreur de rue. Ah, ça peut être ça. Mais ça peut être ça. Mais ça ressemble... Ah, c'est bon. Je peux pas louer. Vas-y, je l'achète. C'est jamais. Moustache, on s'en fout. Ah putain, ça, j'avais pas vu. Si on peut le louer, c'est que c'est pour une mission.
Be careful with what you've taken.
Eh ben, on va sauvegarder. Et puis, il est quelle heure? Ouais. Et puis à la prochaine pour Bernadotti. Twitch, je reste là. Je vais juste, je coupe juste 5 minutes et j'arrive. À tout de suite. Et YouTube à la prochaine.